Greetings, Performance Reviews, where I give you the review from the technician's point of view. And today we're going to talk about the difference between the two US Hizero models that are current. Now, the one on the left is the older generation. The one on the right is the newer generation. We are starting off this video from the back because you really can't tell the difference from the back. So that's how close these are. So if you're really trying to pick between the two, you're not going to be disappointed with either of these. The differences are very minute. So the first thing we're going to talk about are the clean water tanks. The older generation cleaner water tank had a twist lid. The newer generation just has a silicone lid. They are the same. In fact, they're even interchangeable. The batteries are the same. The dirty water containers, again, interchangeable. Older generation had a filter that was harder to get to in here. The newer generation, the filter can be gotten to quite easy just by lifting that up. So this filter only has to be addressed maybe every 6 months to a year. So it's not common, but you do need to get to it. So quality of life improvement there. Let's talk about the differences between the cleaner heads. They are the same width. The ejection button right on top, these open up, and you have your maintenance here. So what is the difference between this? Well, your dry tray is this one, which is this one. You're going to say those look very similar, and they are. The real difference is not even the dry tray. It's how you get to the roller. On the newer generation, pull the roller up and it just lifts out. The roller is also made out of a more spongy material. I don't know how to describe it, but it holds moisture better than the previous generation. The motors, the power of the brush rollers seem to be the same. Again, the cleaning brush comes out easier versus this, but again, they're very similar. Don't expect huge differences between the two. Now, here's the real difference, for me at least. So when we need to wet the roller or let the roller dry out of the machine, on the older generation, you had to pull out the debris tray, and then you had to tilt the machine on the side and get it from underneath, like so. And tilting the machine over sometimes means you can hit things with the handle, stuff like that. It makes it very awkward. Probably looked awkward on camera. Where with this newer generation, the machine stays level, you just lift it out. So that is a big improvement, but question, if you could get the older generation for $100 or $200 less, would you put up with that? You might just consider that. So why the older generation is out, even though it is less, I wouldn't discount it. But if you're one of those people who's like me and you're a little bit clumsy, I think you'll find this might be worth the extra money for you. There's one other thing, is there is this filter here that has to periodically be cleaned. Again, on the newer generation, we've put it in a better place. So it's on the side, easy to get to right there on the newer generation, this clear one. On this green piece, it just goes right here. Never gets very much in there, but it is something you have to address occasionally. Let's see if one of these cleans more aggressively. Well, as we see, they both leave the floor the exact same dampness. They both push about the same, so there's no difference there. Let's check out the debris pickup difference. I have dry breakfast cereal here first, and then we'll go to some wet soil. I tried to pour about the same amount of water and soil down, but there might be more on the right, but they're about the same. So let's try the old generation first, and we're going to do this on the number 2 setting. Well, that did as advertised. Let's try the newer one. Well, that did as advertised. Now, I did run out of water in the middle of that, so that would be worst case scenario. We ran out of solution and water in the middle of that last test. Let's do it again just to show you what that looks like. I'd say that does pretty good, all things considered. Let's talk about maneuverability. I haven't noticed a difference in maneuverability. They both very much have a nice swivel. Well, yeah, they appear to be the same. All right, here are my final thoughts on these. I don't see a huge difference between these machines. What I do see is that the newer machine is just easier to maintain. So if you found the older one harder to maintain, upgrading to the new one might be good, but really there's no other reason to upgrade. Do I think that the price difference on the free market right now is worth the new one versus the old one? I'll let you decide that. I'm very satisfied with my F803 that I have at home that I used, and I use one constantly in my store. So I've used it in 2 different environments and I'm satisfied with that. Do I like the new one? Hell yeah, it's really nice. Again, great improvements. Glad to see that Hizero is continuing to improve their design. I will say the new material that the roller is made out of, not only does it ship wet, so you can use it right out of the box, you don't have to soak it like the previous one, but it does seem to make better contact and grip with the floor. So when you're using these 2 side by side, you will feel a little bit more resistance with the newer one. So presumably that means it's cleaning better, though I can't tell the difference. This is a lot more spongy and cushy. I think there's more material on this. I don't know if it shows on camera, but the darker one is the newer one, and it is different. So there is a slightly different material. Again, it's improved. So kudos to Hizero to continue to improve their design. Like always, these are wear items, and $30 or so a year to 6 months is probably a normal operating cost of one of these things. And a lot of these things have replaceable rollers, so it's no surprise. Well, would I recommend the Hizero F500? The answer is yes, I would, but understand what this product is for. It is for a civilized household, and it is not for somebody who runs a zoo out of their house and has 10 kids walking around with their shoes on in their house. So if you have delicate floors or floors where people are relatively clean on most of the time, you're going to like this product, and you're going to like how quiet it is. So I hope you got something out of this video. Please give it a thumbs up. That helps us out a whole lot. If you would share this on your favorite platform, we'd like that a lot too. And if you want to help us out directly, there are some links below where you can purchase one of these that benefits the channel, or if you just want to help our Patreon, tips are always appreciated. Have yourself a wonderful day.